Hello everyone, welcome to the Rage Traders Nrl Supercoach YouTube video. Today we are looking at 7 pods that could excel your team's rank right now. In Supercoach, it's just very tight. It is mayhem some rounds, and then also it's very hard to find pods. But I feel like there are some that have crept up. I've got 7 for you here today that I think if you did pick, one of them is very consistent in the pod that I found, but also the rest can get you very good points. Also, the one thing I try and do, just so you know, is I try and find you pods that also could possibly make you a bit of money or a lot of money. Just not pods that are going to lose you money in terms of they have a high break even at the moment. We want to try and find pods that have a semi-nice break even or even a negative break even. So let's get straight into it. Also, we've got a Q&A at the end of this, and then I'm going to go through my trades for the week, which I'm not 100% set on. I am set on my captains though, which I'm happy with, but we'll see how that goes. But let's get straight into it. At the moment, I am 1434 rank, if you didn't know, and with an average round score 1167 due to a Kalen Ponga captaincy. But that it is what it is, right? We're 14.397 million in the team value, but I do have about 200 in the bank, so that's fine. And let's go to the first one. Now, I'm going to speak about Jamal Fogarty. Now, the reason I want to speak about him is just because he's Mr. Consistent. Now, most probably out of all the pods I'm giving you here today, I would say he would be like towards the back end of he's a must-have, or you're sort of like, oh, this is a guy that could win me the comp type thing. But I still think he deserves a mention. 2% ownership, 581,000 price, but the consistency is what I love about him. Now, we all know at the moment, halfback, Hines, Cleary, you don't know what you're going to get. Generally with Cleary, you feel a bit safer, but with Hines, you don't. A lot of people trading him out. Now, I feel like Fogarty's just the guy you could kind of like play like a hooker position, and it's just like you plug him in and you sort of know that you're going to get 50 to 60 generally. Now, if we look here, 51 points, 65, 60, 64, 61, and 64. This is with no tries. He's obviously loves a good try assist. He's very good at that. But he's just very consistent. Now, again, he's not going to be like my go-to, oh, this is your go-to pod. But I thought he did deserve a mention with that type of ownership and him being so consistent. They have the Titans, Dolphins, Storm Bulldogs, which is a bit of a rough patch, back into the Titans, Warriors, Roosters, Souths, West Tigers, Knights. So that's a very nice run there. So I just thought I'd pay show a bit of love to Jamal Fogarty because Canberra Raiders are doing great. Next, I want to speak about someone who we know very fondly of. We speak about him sometimes in the group chats. Is it time to maybe look at plugging him in? Herbie Farnworth. This guy is putting up really nice numbers when he's not really scoring tries. So you can see here at the moment, a 65, 58, 85, 69, 55, 78. That is a crazily good. His base is very nice. The thing I sort of say though is at the moment, if I said to you, who would you prefer, Herbie Farnworth now, or would you wait for Dylan Lucas? I'd say 90% of people would say I'm just going to wait for Dylan Lucas. And with like the whole Raiders thing of like, oh, what's going to happen now that Zach Hosking is back? Is Nicholson going to drop? Is Horsburgh going to drop in numbers? I think this is a play where we can wait for Lucas, and then when we can sort of get an indicative idea of what is happening at Raiders and who's actually going to be hit by the Hosking return, then we could maybe plug in a Lucas there. But yeah, I still have to mention him because what he's doing is quite good considering he's not getting a lot of tries, etc. Storm, Raiders, Roosters, Parramatta, Warriors. This is a really nice patch here, this for Raiders, Roosters, Parramatta, Warriors. Possibly you could grab him after this Storm match. 4% ownership. People are going to be holding him. We'll see how they play against the Storm. If they have a really nice game against the Storm, if they beat the Storm, who knows? This is huge for Dolphins. I think this patch is going to be absolutely huge. Just look at these games they've got coming up. It's really, really nice. So definitely put him on a watch list. I think at the moment, break even of 79, he could beat that tonight. But even if he does, I don't think it'll be by too much. And then that's when we could sort of plug him in. Hammer. Look, fullbacks at the moment, they're great. Pap, Guffo, serving people so well. But this guy starts to deserve a mention now. 4% ownership, a negative 22 break even. This could be the time you plug him in. Pardon me. I think you are very scared of this Storm game. So you could wait and do it next week if you want. Again, obviously playing with Herbie, so the exact same lineup that we went through. But you can see he had a bit of a rough start. First game, 80 points, nice, but then and the problem is that rolled out first from your rolling average. So then he got caught with a 30, 22, 41. You can see here things are starting to creep up and be a lot better. 74 into 124, 51 points in tries, which is kind of wild. Base is just ticking now above 30, which is nice. So you want to see that. It was 40 in the first game. These were just two really weird games against the Tigers and the Knights, but you have to mention Hammer. He could easily be a pick next week. So, keep him on your watch list, but at the moment, negative 22 break even with a 4% ownership. Really, really nice with a 1.29 ppm, which is very, very nice to see. Next, I want to talk about someone that had been traded out quite a bit. Seems to have picked up his game a bit. I still want to kind of wait and watch, but he has a 33 break even. Alexander Brimson, 3% ownership. You can see sort of this 3-game patch. He's really started to tick it up a notch. The base has even crept up. Last game had a 38 base, which is just really nice to see. So yeah, they go against the Bulldogs. He still gets 40 points against the Bulldogs, which is quite nice. At Knights was very poor. Even when games they were scoring big, he wasn't really doing much. But now he's sort of there's a bit of a creep up here, and I personally think Titans beat Raiders this week, and I'm curious to think that he could be a possible little cheeky pickup. Now, at the moment, 3% ownership. The price isn't too bad. He's sitting in CTW. I think does he have fullback? Am I crazy for saying that? Or is it the half? 5'8"? Is it 5'8"? Brimson, let's see. Just quickly, yeah, it's 5'8". So this could easily be, for me, a replacement to Galvin. So I'm not trading Galvin this week. There's a reason for it, and I'll get through into that later. But yeah, I actually don't mind Brimson now because of the Galvin situation, but I'm just going to hold off. Now, the draw is up and down, but actually not that bad. So they have Raiders, then they have Cowboys, and then they have Bulldogs, Knights, Raiders, Interstorm, Broncos, Manly, Para, Cowboys. So it's actually quite nice. Not that bad there, but I think I kind of feel like Brimson's that type of guy, sort of like Jaden Campbell at times, where it takes them a bit of a while to get going, and then when they get going, they're absolutely flying in terms of fantasy points. But yeah, I did think he deserved a mention because his ownership is still quite low, and he's a good player. We know what he can do. He just needs to convert that to fantasy points and on the field sometimes. I had to mention this guy, even though he's injured and not playing this week. Latu Fainu. This is going to be one of the biggest plays you can do, I think, from Galvin. I want to see what the lineup is going to be next week. Now, if West Tigers randomly lose this game, this guy's just going to be injected into the 5/8 role, the halves, and he's going to get 80 minutes. But 248,000 with a 19 break even. This could be the savior to the Galvin situation. Now, we're looking here, the minutes, 31-48, okay? Now, with Galvin going, you just think that this is going to creep up a lot. We could see Dwayne, is that how you pronounce it, or Dewey going back to the centers, him slotting in, because he looked great with in the halves the other week. Oh, I'm pretty sure he played in the halves. if that is wrong, just let me know. But when he put that hit on Crossland, boy, oh boy, I was like, who's this guy? And then I was like, he plays half. I was like, what the hell? So I think this is a little sneaky grab. 3% ownership. This is just a watch list because he's not playing this week, but I have to mention him. Latu Fainu for the West Tigers. They come into Knights, Para, Sharks, Dragons, Storms, Souths, Cowboys, Panthers, Raiders. So actually not bad of a draw there. Obviously Storms a tough one, but yeah, really, really something we could look at, definitely. Toby Couchman is next for the St. George Dragons. I actually spoke about him a couple of weeks ago in the group chat, if not a few weeks back. I think he is really, really good. The problem at the moment is just a bit of the price tag, and with Gula coming back, so you want to pay attention with that because he's coming back from suspension, and this could be sort of a tiny bit inflated. But when I say, how can I say inflated if he's playing 51 minutes and then he's getting 82 points? And he's doing 52 in base, 62 in base, 46 in base, 63. This guy is a base machine. Boom, boom, boom. He's a base machine. Now, they do have Eagles, Roosters, Tigers, Warriors, Broncos, Knights, Dolphins. So that's quite a friendly draw. This guy, if one other injury happens and this minutes go up, in my opinion, he's a must-have. He just absolutely puts in work. Barely misses tackles except for the first game. Yeah, just really, really nice what he does. So I would just have him on your watch list. I don't think you could get him now, 16 break even, 3% ownership for sure, but I don't think that is the one thing you'd be doing because I think he has FRF and 2RF. Let me just double check. I could be wrong on that. Oh, yeah, so he's FRF, 2RF dual, which is really, really nice. But yeah, just put him into consideration. The next one I want to speak to you about, this guy could go bananas this week and secretly do it. Tulatu Kula. Now, -4 break even, 1.2 ppm, 3% ownership, 600,000, already gone up 77,200 in price. And what you're seeing now is the minutes being 80, 67, 131, 58 against the Sharks. That's really, really nice. And I think this game, he could really do something good against the Dragons. Now, they verse Dragons, Panthers, Sharks, Cowboys, Para. Obviously, this has all happened because of Tom Trbojevic. Hopper Wade, I think, goes back to the fullback position, and then he slots into the centers. So if we look now at the Seagulls team list, where is he? Yeah, so he's still in center. It looks very, very good. It looks very, very juicy. But I just think he's a great little CTW pick that we could look to make us a tiny bit of cash with the negative break even. And then kind of just be like, okay, maybe we go to a Karaz now, or maybe we go to the Herbie Farmworth now. You see what I'm saying? So this could be a guy that we actually keep for 3 to 4 weeks. We don't know. But are you better off going Hiroti, that we know is going to be a trade out generally because of Iro coming back? Or do you just go someone like Kula? Obviously, there's a massive, massive price difference, but you know that this guy is negative break even. He can put up a huge number. You're most probably safer going Hiroti because the only thing guaranteed with that guy is that you're going to be trading him out at some point. But I don't mind this Kula play. 3% ownership. He's getting 80 minutes. I think it's really, really nice. So yeah, keep that on your tabs. If you want to go for a cheeky pod player, I'd say this is the one right here. All right. So we have some questions. Apologies, I will be looking down for these. They're on my phone. But let's speak about these just quickly. So someone says, someone says, Hainsey says, what should you prioritize, cash generation or points? I think the one thing I love about fantasy is that it's situational. Now, it all depends on what your team is showing at the moment and how they're looking. But I just genuinely think in fantasy, there's times where someone pops up like an Egan someone pops up like a Billy Smith and they're just must-haves. But I also think there's times where you just have to pull the trigger and you're like, I'm boosting this week and I'm just going for points. If you just keep going for cash in fantasy, you are never going to win. That's the biggest thing. So right now, people that are playing for Paps, they're getting Gutho in. They're playing for points, okay? Even though they had like a nice break even, you're still buying for points there. You're expecting, 50, 70, 80 plus from these guys. So I think if you're talking to me about, first 5 rounds, I think it's definitely cash gen. But I like what I'm feeling in fantasy at the moment is about round 7-ish now. Round 6 is when you can start pulling the plug and going for points as well. And this is why a lot of people are also looking for that Fafita route, because he's going to get you a bit of cash and then he's also going to hopefully get you a lot of points. Is Egan a must on the bench? I think he is. I think Egan is just absolutely set to make some really good cash, especially with the Nicholson thing as well. I think Nicholson's going to get some reduced minutes or just be that guy that we eventually trade out. And I always like having a bit of someone there that's a backup cash gen guy. Like we know that eventually Hubner is going to max out. We know that Nicholson will likely max out. Kant, who's going to lose a position, and Horsburgh, at the same time could be a keeper, but he could max out and we could move him on. So I do like Egan. I've got both. I don't think it's too late to get them. You could wait and watch and see what they do off the bench, but he could also just be starting and Flanagan's just doing, bollocks around the lineups. But yeah. Is Paps a must to get in, and is it worth trading Iongi to him? That's what I've done. Exactly what I've done. The reason I've done it is because, yes, Moses is back. Cool. Iongi could get a 40 to 50. Sure. He could get an 80. Okay. Then they go into the bye, and then I'm pretty sure they go into the Bulldogs. The thing is, I just don't trust Eels, and I also think that Paps is going to be a must-have keeper. And it's getting to a point where if they absolutely dominate Dolphins, if they just go out and go, I don't care. We don't care that you've won 2 in a row and you beat the Panthers, and they go like 30-10 against the Dolphins and Pap goes another 100. It's just going to get so hard to get to him. I think like now is the last time you can get to Paps. Now, me likely saying that Paps gets a bloody 30. But yeah, it's just, I just feel like Paps is, there was 3 players at the moment. I was thinking about this morning. Who are the 3 players that I think were must-haves at the moment, or 4 players that are must-haves at the moment in fantasy? 1, I wouldn't say it's Gutho, because if you started with him, it's great, but he may not be a must-have. I think it's Paps, Haas, Terrell May, and most probably Tino, then close Katoa. That's who I was like, okay, these guys, it's getting to a point where they're just too good not to have. Gutho is also creeping up there very close, but, we want to see even more from him and consistency in those hard games as well. But I think Gutho does deserve to be talked about there as well. But yeah, I do think it perhaps is a must to get, yes. Oh, I think I covered up one of the things, but we can get to that. Okay. I'm going to be a pest and ask a load of questions. Would love your thoughts, but feel free to ignore. Assuming Pappy loses goal kicking and Turbo comes back fit in the next couple of weeks, who are your top 3 fullback options? Can't decide between Teddy, Gutho, Drinky, Pappy, Turbo, Ponga. Is there a top? Okay, well, let's go over this one. If you said to me right now, who are the top 3 fullback positions, by the way they are playing and how the team is going, it's easily Pappy, Gutho, and why am I having a mind blank? Teddy. Those 3. Okay. If you said to me, if I want to take a gamble and who do I think are going to be the next and the best in the next 5 rounds, I would say it's Pappy, Kalen Ponga, because their draw is just absolutely insane, and then Teddy. I know that's crazy to say, but if we just look quickly, I know you guys can't see this, but I'm just having a look. St. George have Manly Roosters away, West Tigers away, New Zealand Broncos away, bye. They actually have quite a nice, an okay draw, but the Manly Sydney away, West Tigers away, who are actually quite good at defense sometimes. I don't know. I definitely think just because most probably I'd say Gutho, Pappy, and Teddy, to be honest with you, but I think Ponga could creep in and be that fullback that we sort of said, man, we should have held him. But yeah. You also asked, is there a top hooker option or just leave it on who you have and not care? Well, if you still have Starling, you're very happy with that. I think Watson is the top hooker option. I've most really said that for the last 3 to 4 weeks, in my opinion. I have him plugged in at the moment, as you can see. I don't think I think only Starling is really the person that was sort of creeping up and sort of saying, okay, I've been the guy this season. If not, he has been. But I think Watson is definitely the premium. And he's just going to get you these points anywhere between 50 to 80 per week that you're going to be really, really happy about. So I would definitely say Watson and Starling at the top in terms of cash gen and who you like really have or really liked. But just checking quickly, Starling, I don't know because a lot of people traded him out, right? What's his break even? 27. Jeez. If you traded him, you're a bit annoyed, aren't you? Yeah, so Watson and Starling for me. All right. Top 5 CTWs and top 4 2RF options for the buy origin period. Okay, so let's do top 4, 5 CTW options. Top 5 CTW. Jeez, that's a lot. I might go top 3. Surely Katoa, right? Katoa. I'd need to look. Jeez. Let's see here. I definitely think Katoa's number 1. I actually think Cooler could be up there. I know that's a weird say. But, geez, he does work. Yeah, it's very hard to say. Maybe does Asako play Origin? I don't think he does, right? I'm not sure. Around that 12 period, I just want to look at the Dolphins. So they have a bye at 13, St. George, North Queensland, Newcastle. So it's not bad, but that bye on round 12 hurts. I'm just going to put it out there and just say Katoa's the guy you got to get at the moment, especially with their draw, then going into Origin period where, he's just so good. I just feel like he is the must-have, him and Paps. But yeah, I can't really comment on much else. Bradman Best gets picked. There's honestly not much, is there? I don't mind, because Turbo's likely going to play Origin, or he will play Origin, I still like Cooler. I really like Cooler. Maybe Hopewadi, but I really like Cooler. Yeah. Yep. I'm just going to leave it at that. I did Katoa for 2RF, sorry. CTW I kind of went through, but it's also very, very hard. Does Garrick? I don't even know. I'm so bad with Origin. If Garrick doesn't play Origin, he's definitely up there. It's Garrick, Katoa. I like Cooler. And if Asako doesn't play Origin, then I think Asako could have a sneaky one, but with the bye, that's a bit annoying. But yeah, I really don't know who else after that. And I think if Preston doesn't play Origin, I don't think he plays. I don't know about these guys and nationality and all that stuff in Origin. So sorry if I say this wrong, but if Preston doesn't play Origin or isn't eligible, I think he's a great pickup as well. Maybe even if Kickow doesn't play, I think they're all good options and all sneaky options too that you could do. All right, I think there was one question here. Let's end on this. Very torn at the moment, Val or Kraz. I'm going to go over this quickly. I think it is Karaz, reason being the base. Also because there is less chance of Karaz playing Origin. Val is definitely going to be playing Origin. If Karaz doesn't get picked in like a stacked New South Wales side, I think you're going to be laughing and really having a nice Origin period with Karaz in. The thing is, Karaz could definitely be picked, especially if he starts playing incredibly well after this injury. So he's back now. He had a really strong first game. We're waiting on him after one more week to see what he does, and then maybe we're possibly buying him. But it's kind of like the Teddy Dylan Edwards situation last year. Like some people went Teddy, some people went Edwards, and they were like, "There's no way Teddy doesn't get picked," vice versa. And then Edwards gets picked, and a lot of people were like, "What the hell?" And it just happened. So that could happen there with Karaz as well. All right, just quickly on my team, I'm still a bit torn. The one thing I have come to the conclusion of is that I'm not trading Ponga out. I looked at the draw. He had an awful week, and I think emotions were just getting to me. So at the moment, I've gone to do Shibasaki and Iongi, getting Pappenhausen, Shibasaki Iongi, getting Pappenhausen and Hiroti in. I'll update you guys on whether this is 100%, but yeah, this is what it is at the moment. I just think Paps is flying. Iongi are 2 break even, sure, but I don't know what else I can do there because I really want to get Paps in and I don't want to get rid of Ponga. Let me know what you're thinking in your trades below. NRL starts tonight, I think. So this video is going to be coming out shortly. I really hope you enjoyed the video. We've got the Seagulls versus the Dragons tonight. So if you are going for that cooler pod play, let me know. Let me know. Also, Fainu might be getting dropped into the team. So he could be a CTW grab we go for with the injury. Being 4 to 6 weeks, likely to be 6 weeks for Tupelotu. So yeah, thank you so much for watching the video, guys. Please like, subscribe, comment below if you have any questions. I'll get to them before the end of round today. And thanks for watching. Thank you for the support. See you soon. Much love. And remember guys, just remember this. Never give up. Peace.